To everyone else, it's breaking news. To Jalen and Jacoby listeners, it's broken news.
I did not think that Dillon Brooks would be suspended for Game 3. Guess what? You did.
I did.
And guess what? He is.
I was adamant about it. And it's a boss move. I think my boss tattoo on this.
Oh, no. You do this every time.
I remember when people thought I was a thug in college because I had a tattoo. It's crazy how times have changed. For Dillon Brooks, I say this often, officials also take the result in account before the result is actually concluded. So if he isn't injured for 2, 3, 4, however long weeks he's going to be out, I believe he doesn't get suspended for Game 3. But since he is injured, it's almost retroactively punishing him because you understand that it's going to affect the Golden State Warriors going forward because you're missing one of their role players. So that's basically the reasoning that I understood that would take place. But also I text people. You know what I'm saying? I text people. And that's why immediately when you said he got ejected early in the game,
suspended
I was
for
like,
Game 2.
no, I got to stop you, fam.
Well, they need Gary Payton II as well because he's a good defender on Ja Morant, one of the most, exciting offensive weapons in the game. But let's also not forget that the Grizzlies played most of the season without Dillon Brooks. That great regular season record they built without Dillon Brooks.
Good point. That is a great point. But also that means the emergence of Desmond Bane, who's dealt with an injury, who's also been struggling in the series. They're going to need to get him going. And we're not talking about the big body up front, Steven Adams, who's been out with a COVID protocol. Eventually, they hope to get him back in the series. So they've actually been shorthanded. The Golden State Warriors are going to be without Gary Payton II. But Ja was the dominant force.
Yeah, he was.
Like, when you look at really what happened in Game 2, it was almost like he willed this team by all means to tie this series. Now, when you're the Golden State Warriors and you looking at that in the film room and Ja telling Steph it's gonna be fun.
Yep.
I know Steve Kerr. I know they running that on repeat because that's what the game is all about. And I appreciate that level of competitive spirit. He just buckled.
You always say this about stars. You always say we should win because of you.
Yeah,
because we have you.
Yeah.
They won because they have Ja Morant.
Correct. And also they were daring him to shoot threes. And he didn't say, you know what, I'm gonna work on it this offseason. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm gonna start shooting these things right now. Like, we're not gonna even let that become a thing. You see what I mean? As a player, the psychological portion of the game is so very heavy. Because if you're now allowing them to back up off of you and you purposely not shooting, that gives them a psychological edge. So he purposely started the series shooting the threes, kept shooting the threes, and then, gets in the air and double pumps nasty on whoever's guarding him and finishes as he gets 47 in Game 2.
Gary Payton II was starting in this series. So now do you think they start Poole?
You start Poole. You definitely start Poole, who started in the second half, I believe, of Game 1, but they can interchange it either way. I like having Poole in the game for the obvious reasons. He's a dynamic scorer that can get you 30 points, and he also plays well off of Curry. But the other thing I like about him being in the game is that he gets shots off the dribble, and Klay need that. Like Klay,
Can we talk about Steph and Klay, Jalen?
Let's do that.
Can we talk about Steph and Klay?
Okay, I was trying.
No one wants to say it.
Oh, yeah. Not so splash, brother.
Not so splashy.
Yes.
Not so splashy in the last 2 games.
Yes.
Are they going to get it back at home?
I believe so. But they got what they went there for. Like, Draymond got all of the fans mad at him, not at the other 14 guys, just like he wants. He got a $25,000 fine that he gonna probably send it to them in pennies. A lot of podcast
follows.
He gonna send it to him in pennies. You know what I'm saying? Do some Saginaw Pride type spiteful. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, I think the Golden State Warriors, under the circumstances that they took Game 1, gave them a level of confidence knowing that once we get that split, we go back home, our Splash Brothers shoot better, we play better. Even though we're not going to have Gary Payton II, this is where you're going to see other guys like Kuminga get more finishes.
Yep.
Wiggins get more finishes. And that's what they've done with that roster.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.